All right, welcome back, guys. I had good intentions of shooting more YouTube stuff this week, and apparently there's just always an awful lot of mundane crap that needs to get done around here, and it just didn't happen. I don't know if you can see that deer out in the cornfield. Probably not, it's a long ways away. Anyway, there was an online auction again, and that necessitated this. I've been gonna build sideboards, whatever you want to call them, for this trailer for a long time, and I've owned it for 10 plus years. But this sale finally got me off the pot, and so they got built. And I was about 90% done, and I thought, well, we could have shot video of that. And I thought, well, it's too late now, and there's a lot better carpenters on YouTube than me, I'm sure of that. So this is what it is. I kind of left a gap in there because this lumber is 100% repurposed. I dug through the pile. This is stuff that Dad saved. I don't even know where it came from. And these boards were long enough I could get 9 feet out of them and get to the front of the fenders. And I don't know if this was really necessary, but I thought, well, might keep something from falling out the back. So I put those little stubs on there. In the process of getting all of this out, I took a good load of what's no longer any good down to the burn pile with 60/80. So we got some cleaning done too, and yeah, that's always good. So I will bring you back when we get on site and show you what is shaking today. All right, guys, I'm on site. This is part of the treasure that I bought in the auction. All right, maybe I've lost my mind. That's a pretty good looking piece of angle iron there. There is, well, there's an old saw. I didn't look at this all that closely. I just know that, like, there's a narrow front end pedestal for a meadow green tractor and a seat that Mike is interested in. There's a fair amount of meadow green stuff in there, and that kind of got me interested. And I don't know, I'm sure it will scrap for well more than what I gave for the pile. A little bit of work here, obviously. We'll get that cleaned up today. And there's a really nice bale ring there. We'll probably take that on the last load, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how many loads this amounts to. But we'll walk over here. Mike bought that disc over there. We'll talk more about that later, I'm guessing. I should mention something. This is funny. Mike has this reputation of having less than stellar tires, and he buys this disc. I don't know if that's going to survive the trip to Huxley. I think maybe he's going to bring something to put on there, I hope. But here's the big ticket item of the day for me, folks. 546 5/16 Plough, and the pull bar is not in good shape, which isn't the end of the world because I have parts. The big draw on this was it comes with a new, albeit rusty, set of shins, one share. But here's the big deal, and this is why I went after this plow as hard as I did, which didn't take that much. But these two items right here and I'm hoping that Oliver guy sees these. Those are subsoiler shanks. And as near as I can tell, those are new old stock. They've never been on a plow. And I'm thinking those have got to be rare. It has joiner holders on it, which was a big draw for me. This back one is probably going to go on the 365 plow, and I will try to resurrect that. I don't know. Don't wait for video of this thing in the dirt this fall, because I think that would be more than optimistic. And it's not like we don't have other plows to use. It's got the Oliver hydroelectric cylinder, I guess. Kind of cool. At any rate, I'm going to shut you guys off, and I'm going to get started loading this stuff. All right, here we are. Well, you know, when you buy used farm equipment, you will notice things eventually, I guess. And apparently, they broke the original coulter mount, because the joiner coulters, which this has, have got this style, and they found this one and just used a linchpin for indexing. I guess we'll see how that goes. This back one, the bearings went bad. Why they could have put this one up there and that one here, life would be grand. Yeah, I don't know. I have land sides ordered for the 365 plow, and I think I'm just going to call Shoop. They were on back order, and I'm just going to have them put 5 more on the order, so that'll be another couple $100. But ladies and gentlemen, when I first looked at this thing, I was thinking parts plow. It's got a lot of good parts on it, and it's a trip bottom plow. And the big reason I was thinking parts plow is it's had some trauma, I'll say, in this area. But I got to thinking, I've got a 565 parts plow, and I'll bet that pull bar is the same. And I don't know, I'll have to get it dug out of the weeds and have a look at it. It may be such a thing that would just unbolt here and change that whole mess. Or we may unbolt here. Yeah, I don't know. But the more I got to looking at this, the more it came with the new shins. So, and the shares look pretty good. It's got the joiner coulters on it and all but the back one, and I've got the shank. It just needs bearings. And I've got another concave, convex, I'm not sure which, but I've got another disc that will fit that. So I think I'm eventually going to make a plow out of this. It came with this nice wheel and tire. Looks like that's not even really tight on there. I don't think we can blame that on Mike, because I think it was flat long before he ever got to see it. This wheel and tire came off the 5-bottom 565. And as you can see, it's got a lot of tread on it, but it's got a lot of cracks too. So for the short term, this is going to be the one that goes on here, because that'll be fine for moving around the yard. I don't know. I'm probably going to rob the cylinder off that 5-bottom 565 because I'll probably be moving this with the 856, and it's got big IH couplers, and that cylinder has the right hoses, yada yada. So this one does, it's even got a gauge wheel bracket. That's kind of nice. That might actually become a gauge wheel in time. I have got another Oliver Plough rim that's got a brand new tire on it. Thought about putting on here. I may do that actually, and then this one will just be a, we'll put that right on the gauge wheel. Don't know, we're gonna have to do a little work on our stand there and get that straightened up. Don't hold your breath on seeing this one plow this year. I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, but there's a lot of other things around here that need to get done, and I got a lot of plows, so getting this one ready is not super high priority, but you never know how the spirit moves, fella. For whatever reason, we're missing a wedge plate, and I suppose those are probably going to be specific to a 546 plow. My heart is in working on this today, but reality is that, and I'll show you when I get over there, that trailer needs to get unloaded, and that's going to have to take priority. So I guess that's all for here for right now. If I can find that silly phone. All right, looking at this load of angle iron that's on here, I wasn't even really thinking of this when I bought that scrap pile, but this was kind of on the bottom, and I don't know, I'm going to say that the gentleman whose sale it was must have torn something apart, and this is the angle iron that it was made of. It's heavy enough that an 1840 case skid loader would not pick it up, and I don't have a place to put it around here, and I don't want to create a place. That's why it's still on the trailer. I am going to get a couple of sticks of the both. There's two sizes basically, and I'm just going to get a couple of sticks of each of them. They're about 20 foot long. I'll probably just cut them in two and throw them in the my iron rack over there. And then there's some other stuff that I'm gonna build a load, and I'm just gonna, it's going to Grinnell this week because I need the trailer. There's a tractor pull coming up next Saturday that I want to go to, and I need the trailer to get the H to the tractor pull. So I think the 6080 would pick that up off of there, but we're not even going to find out. I don't know. We'll leave my tea there, and then I'll wonder where I left that here after a bit. I don't know if it would be prudent to keep one of those auger flighting. It will probably go to I wasn't really organized very well before this sale, and yeah, you'll see. But these are the subsoiler shanks for that 546 plow, and talked about them briefly I shot that segment yesterday, but I'm pretty sure those are as good as new old stock. They've never been in the ground. And I think that those would be of interest to an Oliver Plough type person, such as myself. And I may actually, because that field right out there, I'm gonna plow about half of that next spring. Most of it where it's flat, I'm gonna plow and just see what kind of an effect that has on water hemp reproduction. There's the shins. This, I think I talked about all this stuff yesterday, but this is the other colder for the joiner colder, and apparently the bearings got a little bit worse than they should have, so I've got some bearings coming. Maybe I ought to order another set of bearings. Anyway, I like to have that, even, you know, I'm glad he saved it and didn't just scrap it out. So I don't know, I need to get to work on this scrap because I've got to get that trailer unloaded. But I did want to talk about that plow a little bit. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I don't know, I might shoot some more later. All right, I'm in the shop and I got the H out. I'm gonna hit it with the power washer, and I thought, well, as long as we're running the power washer, this old girl's gonna get some of that action too. Don't know if I showed this already, but this is one of the exhaust leaks that this has. 4 is also suspect at the minimum. So these things are much nicer to work on when they're clean. So it's not terrible that, you know, the power washer's running. Let's clean it up and be less grease on me. Man, I doubt if they're original, but I wouldn't swear to it. This whole contraption is going to get deleted. I don't think it's necessary, and this thing may live in here this winter just in case I need a loader tractor. It'll always start, and I'm sure in 50-degree weather this thing will start. I'm not concerned about that at all. I think I have new belts, so we'll go ahead and throw a new belt on there while we've got it up in here. This is some really fancy farmer fixing. I love that. I cut the wire already, and I thought, oh, I should have took a little video of that. That's pretty nice, that old twine. So I think we can make an actual extension cord out of that, maybe. I don't know. But it's not going to be needed to power this anymore. So without further ado, I'm going to shut you guys off and move this behind the H, and we will get started power washing.